Corvettes are super popular right now, especially the 5th and 6th generation. Today, I'm going to tell you guys some of the common myths that led me into believing that this would be a safe and reliable vehicle for my first daily driver, and the mistakes that I made and how you can avoid them. Now, about a year ago, I eagerly bought this C5 Corvette from 1999 with 200,000 miles, and I drove it, I don't know, maybe 50,000 miles before a serious oil leak developed as a result of the harmonic balancer that was wobbly when I bought it. I replaced the harmonic balancer and the front crank seal and the harmonic balancer bolt, but that took me a month to do because I had to take off the entire front end on the Corvette. I had no experience, and on top of all of that, the parts costed me hundreds of dollars. After I went ahead and replaced the harmonic balancer, I went right ahead and I bought myself a new EBCMS module for $500. However, I was so naive at the time that I trusted everyone I met on my Facebook Corvette group, and I got scammed and I didn't even get the part. And at that point, I had stripped out my lines on my old EBCMS module, trying to repair it myself, which meant I had to buy another EBCMS module that was broken just so I could have brakes again, but it still didn't fix the issue. In total, I spent $900 on just parts and about $300 in labor getting new brake lines made for the EBCMS module. Now I have bought another EBCMS module for my parted out C5 Corvette that was wrecked. The owner said that it worked just fine, and I got it from eBay with the eBay guarantee, so hopefully that works. But just after I got my new EBCMS module, the transmission went out, and I had no third gear and I had no fourth gear. It wasn't even like the packs were slipped to the point where they wouldn't even drive, and it was really weird because I didn't feel like I was getting any slippage beforehand. I went ahead, removed the oil pan, checked the solenoids, replaced the solenoids, replaced the fluid, I replaced the transmission filter, and I did everything I could without tearing the transmission apart, and it did not fix the issue. I'm going to show you guys what the transmission fluid looked like. It was basically a done deal that the clutch packs had worn out. There was metallic shards in the trans fluid, and if you want to get a new clutch pack, you basically have to rebuild the transmission. And when I went to transmission shops asking them if they would rebuild my 4L60E, which is a really common Chevy transmission, they said that they would not do it on my car because it has a torque tube, like the new Corvettes from the 5th generation and up do. And so I was very, very disheartened by hearing that news, and I basically had this car that I put less than 1,000 miles on that I couldn't hardly drive because I only had first and second gear. As if the bigger issues I mentioned weren't already enough, the paint has started to fade right here. Spots like right here, the clear coat has started to peel, and all of this started happening after I got the car. And when I got the car, the interior was just falling apart. Some of it was held together by Velcro. Others were just completely flat out broken, like right there. And I thought I could put up with it, and I could have. But then I had catastrophic failure on the transmission. So you guys might be asking yourself what the next steps are from here. And that's an excellent question, because I'm sure it looks like a kid who has all of his money invested into a dream car that doesn't even hardly run, shouldn't have any plans other than selling it. But unfortunately for my financially wise parents, I do have a plan. And instead of spending $2,000 and getting this thing properly fixed, I am going to try and fix the transmission myself. There's about a $200 rebuild kit you can get. I've torn apart and rebuilt a Turbo 350. Horribly, never tried to put it in a car because I know I assembled it wrong. So I have some experience, although it was poor experience. Maybe we'll try and do that on this car, but what we are going to do for certain is we are going to be turning this car into a race car component car. So it's going to be a donor car for a basically street legal F1 car. And boy math might be saying that even though the transmission is $2,000 and the kit car is $30,000, that wouldn't make financial sense to buy a kit car when I have transmission problems. But with boy math and the power of car guy autism, I have discovered that the kit car uses a Porsche 6-speed transaxle. So instead of spending money on a Chevy transmission, I'll just spend twice that on a Porsche transmission and adapter kit to make a kit car. And I've never done anything of that scale as a project before in my life. So, you know, like, what could go wrong, right? And I know I probably seem like a dumb, carefree teenager with all the money in the world, but literally, that Corvette is all of my money into one asset. So I don't know how I'm going to afford this, but I'm currently looking for another job in addition to the job I already have, and maybe a higher paying job promotion instead of the one I have. Working 2 jobs, donating my bodily fluids, and everything I can to afford this kit car. Just a young autistic car guy, and since I didn't go to college, I can basically justify spending college money on turning this car into a supercar that I definitely can't afford, and blowing all of my financial budget on that instead. And in a way, this transmission going out is a blessing in disguise. Besides, I'll get to learn how to tear apart and rebuild this transmission, and I'll get to learn how to basically build a car from scratch after never doing anything of that sort ever with any sort of experience. But I mean, to me, there's nothing more valuable than learning and enhancing your skills, especially if you can have fun doing it on your own stuff. Like, I started a Cobalt SS engine swap that's still not done a year ago, but I had no tools when I started, except for like 2 adjustable wrenches and a set of parrot jaw pliers. That was it. But this car, we have a bit more tools. We're gonna get a lift soon. Very excited for that, and a lot coming to the channel. And I'm not done doing things with this car yet. I have a video where we do a $1,000 burnout that's not quite uploaded, but it's coming soon. So make sure you guys stay tuned to that. The transmission issues happened before that video, so I didn't do it doing a burnout. Don't worry, all right, I'm not that dumb. All right, guys, I know this is a stupid video full of a stupid kid doing stupid things to a stupid car that he should not have bought. But in all seriousness, if you guys love the C5 or C6 Corvettes, I want you guys to get them, but I also want you guys to be aware that these high mileage Corvettes, though they're cheap, are not reliable. Do not fall into that mistake of hearing that they're the reliable American supercar, because they are not if they're high miles. If you get one below 100,000 miles, yeah, it's gonna be reliable. But once you start getting into that 150,000 mile range on up, you really just gotta be careful. Even if they say they've rebuilt stuff and serviced things regularly, like my transmission has service records of the transmission being serviced regularly, but things still happen even if you do preventative maintenance. So be aware of that. I hope you guys do get this car, but my one word of advice would be, rather than looking in the $10,000 range, save up for another quarter year, half year, and just get a $15,000 to $20,000 Corvette. Save yourself so much time, and also it will hold its value so much better. I've already lost thousands in the value of this car and thousands into the work I've put into it, but I'm still excited for the future and for the kit car, race car that we are building on this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and the Lord's got me, so don't worry about that. The channel's still booming. We got so much work to do. You guys have been so supportive, and as always, I hope you all stay blessed.